voluntold. If you'd come forward, please. In the name of Jesus, in the name of Jesus, we have the victory. In the name of Jesus, in the name of Jesus, Satan will have to flee. In the name of Jesus, in the name of Jesus, we have the victory. In the name of Jesus, in the name of Jesus, Satan will have to flee.
Father, this morning, God, we're grateful, Father, to be gathered Lord, in this place as those, Father, so blessed of you. And Lord, we thank you that you give yourself so freely to us and even bore up that suffering and death. But yet, Lord God, you've risen and given us, God, that glory. So we thank you, Lord, Father, for the opportunity to give for your purposes and for this kingdom investment that you've done, Lord. Thank you for that blessing in Christ.
Amen. His name is great. Amen?
Amen.
All right, you're going to have to bear with me because I'm not an up here kind of girl. I got to come down. Whew. Well, a couple weeks ago, Ron said, we won't be here. I said, oh, Alan's working. Oh, yeah. Think you can handle this? Oh,
You got this.
I got this. I got it. I don't know if you got it, but I got it. And I will tell you, I am not like my husband. So I won't move very far, so you don't have to worry about that. Okay, you won't get whiplash or anything like that. I might cry. I don't know. Can't make any promises. I do cry a lot. More so over spiritual things, thank goodness. But this might not be like anything you have ever heard in your life, and may never hear anything like this again. But I have to say, when Ron said something about it, I immediately knew. I immediately knew what to say. Oh, John. And if I'm crying already, we're in trouble. We'll just call in and order pizza because I might be here a while. So I did. I immediately knew. You know how Alan said a couple weeks ago, when you go to, when he's supposed to speak or something, we have the worst week ever. Well, mine has not been the worst week, but mine has been the most hectic week we have ever had. We had to move Stephanie into her new apartment in Maryland. And don't take these tears as being sad, because I'm very glad for her, but it has just been a very crazy week. And found myself up early in the mornings trying to read and study and prepare. So it's just been one of those weeks. So today is that day I'm going, I can slow down. I got a question for you this morning. How many of you spring clean? That is just one of the things that you do. You spring clean. Anybody spring clean their house? I used to. I used to do a lot of things. Somewhere along the way, I think I said that the other day when we were unpacking some of Stephanie's stuff. We had some Pampered Chef stuff. And it was, I don't know if anybody was ever into Pampered Chef or still is, but they sold these little bread molds, and you could put bread dough in them, and they come out the heart or a star or whatever. And Tiffany said, "What are these?" I said, "Well, those are bread molds." "Well, I ain't never seen them." Well, I used to use them back when I didn't have kids, okay? So spring cleaning is the same way. I used to do these things. But, you think about it, why do we clean? Why do we spring clean? Why don't they say, oh, who does fall cleaning? Or who does winter cleaning? No, we always say spring cleaning. Well, it's because there is something about the spring. There is just something about springtime. You think about newness. You think about everything becoming new. We've come out of winter. Now we have, the trees are starting to bud. The flowers are starting to come up. So it's a new season. Well, and a lot of times, I think it just makes people feel better. In the wintertime, we've had all the windows closed. Nobody wants to open the doors, anything like that. So it's just something about it that makes people feel better. It gets people ready for what's ahead. And, well, how many of you have had the best of intentions and you say, hey, see this room over here? I am going to clean that stuff out. There is so much stuff in there. We will never use it. We haven't used it in 5 years. And you get in there to clean it out and you go, oh, I might need that one day. Okay, you don't have to raise your hands. I can tell by your chuckles we've all been there. Okay, Well, I'm going to tell you what, because they say that confession is good. I have a closet in my house. Okay, now this closet is in the hallway, back at the far end of the house. It's the closet that contains all those things that you don't really know where to put them, but you don't really want to get rid of it either. So this closet, on the very bottom of the floor, okay, somewhere along the way, somebody got the notion that my oldest Stephanie should collect Barbie dolls. Well, we must have 50 Barbie collectibles. Now, if any of you know if they're worth any money, let me know, because I'm willing to sell them all, because they're in the bottom of this closet. Also in the bottom of this closet was the first piano I have ever owned, which is about this tall and about this wide. And apparently I played it when I was little. Okay, I'm not going to part with that. That's mine. I will part with everybody else's stuff, but not mine. Okay, so also in the bottom is a tub, a Rubbermaid tub of stuffed animals. And when I pull this tub out, believe it or not, 22 years later, Stephanie can tell you who gave her what animals. There's some that people gave her when she was born. There's a few in there from when I was little. So that's her. I don't deal with that. Then I go to the next shelf. Okay, the next shelf in there is my linens, a box for wrapping paper, gift bags, that kind of thing. Okay, that shelf's pretty well. Oh no, I skipped a shelf. The next shelf is all of our DVDs and CDs. You know, 500 movies that are there. Well, I never watched these movies. We can't get rid of them. And they're stacked 3D. So if you want one in the back, they've all got to come out so you can get that one in the back. Nobody wants to deal with that. And when we get a new CD, I open the door, stick it in, shut the door. That's it. That's where we stop. Okay, then I got my linens. Then there's the top shelf. Okay, now the top shelf. Ooh, this is stuff you just never want to deal with. Okay, this is the stuff that's up there. It's a box up there of Alan's baby clothes. I think his graduation cap and gown is up there. And then we have the space bags. Anybody use space bags? Because I'm going to tell you what, I will endorse the space bag. Okay? You can take 500 things that would stack this high and shrink them down to the size of a pillow. Okay? So it's full of Beanie Babies. We have got a bag full of Beanie Babies. I'm not kidding. If we have 200 Beanie Babies, and that's just the ones that are in this bag. That don't count the ones that are in the nice plastic containers that were someday going to be valued at a lot of money. If I could sell all this stuff, I could retire. But nobody wants it. Because everybody else has the same idea. We'll collect it and hold on to it. Wait till it makes $500. And then you try to sell it. Oh, I've already got one of those. You know. Okay, so that's my closet. Now, I could not bring my closet here today. I couldn't bring that to you. And I will tell you, I have the best of intentions with my closet. I've tried every way I can to try to organize this closet. But we are almost to the point now where you open it, throw something in, and shut the door real quick. But I don't want to deal with it. Why? Because I'm going to have to get rid of some stuff. All right, so since I could not bring my closet here, I brought the next best thing, and I brought my buddy Larry. Now, if you can't see Larry, Larry is a lizard. I don't know how many of you know about lizards, or even care to know about lizards, but we can learn a life lesson from lizards. Lizards have to shed their skin. Snakes have to shed their skin. Okay, the reason they shed their skin is one, to get rid of parasites is why they shed their skin. Okay, things that will harm them. Second, they have to shed in order to live. That's what helps them to grow, is shedding. Okay, so this is Larry, and Larry is my reminder sometimes that I have to shed things. And that's what we're going to talk about this morning, is shedding things. So if you would turn to 2 Kings, chapter 7. I'm going to sit Larry up here because I just don't have enough room to deal with. Yeah, 2 Kings chapter 7. And we are going to start in verse 1. Now, I know it's hard to think about a closet and a lizard having anything to do with spiritual things. But trust me, we'll get there. Because there are things in our Christian life that we got to get rid of. If we don't get rid of them, we will die. We just have to. There's things that, kind of like my closet, there's things that we have shoved in our lives, we'll say in our heart. We've stuffed it and stuffed it and stuffed it because we just don't want to deal with it. And then when we get to a certain place with God, that thing comes to our remembrance, we go, I ain't dealing with that today. And we just go the other way. Okay? That's the way things go. We just don't want to get rid of things. But this morning I want to encourage everyone, and we're going to look at a few things that we need to get rid of. So in 2 Kings chapter 7, starting at verse 1, it says, Then Elisha said, Hear ye the word of the Lord. Thus saith the Lord, Tomorrow about this time shall a measure of fine flour be sold for a shekel, and 2 measures of barley for a shekel, in the gate of Samaria. Then the Lord, so the king's right-hand man leaned over and answered the man of God and said, Behold, if the Lord would make windows in heaven, might this thing be? And he said, Behold, thou shalt see it with thine own eyes, but thou shalt not eat thereof. And then there were 4 leprous men at the entering in of the gate, and they said one to another, Why sit we here until we die? If we say we will enter into the city, then famine is in the city, and we shall die there. And if we sit here, we die also. Now therefore come, and let us fall unto the host of the Syrians. If they save us alive, we shall live, and if they kill us, we shall but die. Now, looking at the 4 lepers. Leprosy was a terrible thing. I looked it up online. It's not what I kind of thought it was, although I have to tell you, my stomach don't take too many of those kind of pictures. But some of them were like, there was almost like nodules on their faces. So it was basically caused by a bacteria. But lepers were not allowed, if they walked anywhere, they had to holler unclean, because it was perceived that, it was contagious. And they were exiled. They weren't allowed to be with everybody else. So they usually had to just sit. And they completely depended on people to throw them scraps, throw them bread, throw them something. Nobody was actually going to personally hand deliver it because we might catch something. So they might just throw them some crumbs, throw them some things here and there. Okay? So these guys here, they've been here a while. This was the life they had become accustomed to. I think about it. Okay, let's say we put 4 of us together. We have to make a decision on what we're going to do. Now, I would venture to say that 4 of us are probably going to have 4 different ideas of what we should do. And I'm sure the same thing was probably true with these lepers. They probably reasoned it out. Okay, because it does say, they said, well, if we sit here, we're going to die. If we go in the city, we're going to die. Well, we could go over to the Syrians. Hey, if they give us food, we live. If they don't, well, we're going to die anyway. That'd just make it a little quicker. So I'm sure they probably talked about this for a little bit,